Let me ask you something. What happens when the government taps into the supernatural? And I'm not talking about conspiracy theories here. I'm talking about actual, declassified CIA files where trained people use their minds to see distant places spiritually through something called remote viewing. And in one of those sessions, a man claims that he saw the Ark of the Covenant. Not in a museum, not in some Indiana Jones movie, but buried deep in the Middle East and guarded by two, what he called, entities. Not sure what that means. Nobody does. Now listen, as a Christian, I wrestle with this because the idea of remote viewing, it's not exactly biblical. In fact, it sounds a whole lot like divination, and scripture does not like that too much. Remote viewing was part of a real CIA program called Stargate, where the US government tried to use psychic methods to gather intel. Now they spent millions of dollars training people to close their eyes and see things across the world. And sometimes, most of the time, it actually worked. But here's the thing. They weren't praying for wisdom. They weren't seeking God. They were tapping into something spiritual, but without the spirit. And that's dangerous. The Bible warns us about this in Deuteronomy 18. It says, "Let no one be found among you who practice divination or sorcery, interprets omens, engages in witchcraft, or who consults the dead. Anyone who does these things is detestable to the Lord." And yet the US government leaned right into it. So this guy, a trained viewer, gets blind coordinates and has no idea what he's looking for. They didn't tell him. They just gave him the mission and gave him the green light to go. But his mind takes him somewhere in the Middle East, maybe Jordan or maybe near Jerusalem. And when he gets there, at the center of this room, this cave, he describes a glowing gold object, describing exactly how the ark would have looked. Now, he doesn't say the words ark, but if you read the Bible, you'll know. And beside it was the two beings, the two entities that he explains. And he said that they were tall. He said that they were motionless. He said they weren't human, but they weren't demonic. They were just something else. But then he said